Welcome to the Friday Fenix, the only news show in the world, except for all the other ones. While the U.S. continues to grapple with what's next after the Uvalde shooting, this week Canada looked at us, said no thanks to all of that, and decided to ban handgun sales. New York State is also set to pass new gun restrictions, while Texas plans on implanting guns directly into the womb so fetuses can start their target practice as early as possible. Since the Uvalde shooting, there have been 20 more mass shootings in the U.S. It's clear that something needs to be done. That's why I'm proposing the Mandatory Minimum Marijuana Initiative. Here's how it works. Everyone is required to smoke an entire blunt by themselves anytime they feel edgy. Hard to shoot up a crowd if you can't remember how your fingers work. Interestingly, Fox News' Laura Ingraham has suggested that marijuana may actually be the cause of mass shootings.
Why aren't people in general not talking more about the pot, psychosis, violent behavior connection?
Hey, Madison Cawthorn, can you invite Laura to one of your Coke orgies so she can learn about how drugs actually work? As the Supreme Court investigates the source of the Roe v. Wade leak, law clerks may be lawyering up to avoid having their personal phone records seized. Pro tip, maybe don't violate the Fourth Amendment rights of a bunch of people who spend all day looking at the Constitution. Republicans put forth a plan to combat climate change if they win the midterms. There's a surprising amount of subsidies included for solar and wind energy. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I couldn't keep a straight face anymore. Oh God, that would be so funny. No, they just want to burn a bunch more fossil fuels. Jill Biden said she and the president sometimes settle things through fexting. Great, just what we need on social media, pictures of Joe Biden's... Oh, that's not what it means? Oh, thank goodness. Over in international news, Russia may fine Google up to 18 million rubles for failure to store users' data in Russian territory. 18 million rubles, huh? Well, let's see here. That's about 270,000 US dollars. Watch out, Google. Russia might buy a 2-bedroom house in North Dakota with all that money. In Paris, an activist threw cake at the Mona Lisa to protest climate change, because nothing says helping the environment like wasting food. Asked how something like this could happen, Inspector Clouseau replied, "Deliciously," while licking his fingers. Italy is cracking down on counterfeit Parmesan cheese. And I think the most disturbing thing about this story is that there is real cheese we are all missing out on eating. I mean, I can't believe that green canister of Parmesan cheese is fake. Who knew? Italy knew. Over in the tech world, Elon Musk has told all Tesla employees that they can't work remotely anymore. They also can't expose themselves to flight attendants on the Tesla corporate jet. Only Elon gets to do that. NFTs can now be easily cloned, which is great news because on last week's Dumbness Index, Marjorie Taylor Greene was pulling ahead after her tirade involving a peach tree dish conspiracy. Jesus Christ. But NFTs have made a solid recovery and are now only outranked by rubbing your eye after cutting up a jalapeno. Robot orders increased 40% in the first half of 2022 due to ongoing labor shortages. That's right, many unskilled and semi-skilled job positions are getting filled by robots. However, more complicated job roles are still...
Welcome to the Friday Fenix, the only news show in the world except for all the other ones.
Fucking robots, man, they're everywhere. Let's turn now to the world of entertainment, where Star Wars has had to defend actress Moses Ingram, who is Black, after fans have been harassing her. And I understand how hard this must be for those fans because they are legally required to watch things that have minorities in them. You might say, why don't they just turn it off if they don't like it and go on with their sad little lives? But it's not that simple. The Supreme Court ruling in Tomb Raider versus Mississippi set the legal precedent that if you have ever been a fan of something, you have to watch new versions of it, even if there are Black people or women in it. You're forced, really. It's downright tyrannical. And finally tonight, a young girl was mauled by a cougar at church camp. That's weird. When I was in high school, everyone at church camp was mauling each other. A lot of sinning going on at church camp, you guys. More than you'd think. That wraps up this week's episode of the Friday Fenix. Join us next week because there's always more news to peruse.
Your efforts are valid, but I don't